Uh, yeah. So locking in the deal right now with Fab before I leave. To try and get that video done and knocked out, because the Jadakiss video I have now is part of my movie soundtrack. So it got parts of my movie in there, and then I'm chopping it up, hanging out with kids. That was dope. That was a trip. Um, Even being up there at D Block Studios. I remember when he did the verse. Like I almost couldn't believe it. Like, it's just, I seen him sit there, write it out. That was really my first experience in the music industry, because I was like, damn, I'm doing music. I want to get a song with Kiss. I don't even really know how it goes, but Kiss showed me so much love, knew who I was. He was tripping in the studio. And once he did it, did the verse in front of me and everything, I didn't even know what to say. I was speechless. He probably thought I was a weirdo. And then the next time, when we hollered at him, we sat in the song. We lived with the song for like 6 to 8 months. Lived with it, and then I started doing more music. I got a whole label. Got some dudes from my neighborhood that I grew up with, and we just pushing right now, just putting out music. And I was like, man, I want to do the video. And my boy set it up, and my partner set it up, and that was crazy. Like a video with a legend. I can hold on for that. And now I'm trying to work on doing the same thing with Loso, 2 New York Kings, a lot of street cred, a lot respect. So yeah.
When you talk to us a little bit, because we've been around you a lot, and I never knew that you even rap.
Yeah.
Most times, everybody in New York rap, but
yeah.
we've been around you about so many different things, and normally if you was rapping when you was at the Ville, you would have been spitting some bars or telling us like, yo, I rap. It just came out of nowhere. So when did that start?
Man, so like I've always been a writer. I love writing. And then when like one of my boys at the dorm, like one of the managers, he'll bring up a beat or bring up one of his open up his Logic thing on there. So I was like, oh shit, all right, cool. I'll write some of that. I'll put something down. But I was never like the more extroverted like rapper to show people I can rah, I can do it in your face. Like that's not me. I'm more so like, all right, throw me a melody, let me know the topic, and I'm a write, and I'm gonna come up with something. But sitting there and watching kids come up with stuff and then explaining to me how he comes up with it, I think it just made me a little bit colder than I was before. Because that was my first experience. I always bring that up, but yeah. So I like the writing aspect of it, and I like coming up with witty lines and just and keeping following the melody. So I have EDM songs, I have R&B songs, pop, alternate rock, and I have a wide spectrum of music that's even out and uploaded. So it's just fun, and it allows me to be creative, and I'm hands-on with all of my mixing and engineering and production. There's records that I have out that I've helped produce from scratch. So it's been an engineered and mixed from scratch. So I'm really hands-on. My ear is sharp, and I take pride in it, because it's like I don't get to be like like I always compare it to basketball. Like I'm at the point in basketball where it's a job now. I don't really get to be too creative anymore. So when I'm making music, I always push the needle with my creativity. So that's kind of how I let that side flourish.
Nice. Russ, now we reached the part of the podcast that we like to call our barrel proof segment. It's a bunch of rapid fire questions. We're going to shoot them to you. Don't give us a bunch of, don't give it a lot of thought. Just give us your first answer. We're going to roll with it.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, let's roll. It's Halloween. It's around the Halloween time of year. Which movie is more scarier? Freddy Krueger, Jeepers Creepers, or Jason Voorhees?
God damn, I'm gonna go. It's either Freddie or Jason. You can pick your poison, but Freddie scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, I probably roll with Freddie too. Freddie was one that gave me nightmares when I was younger too.
Freddie scared the hell out of me, dude. Like, whoever came up with him is insane. Insane. Like,
it was Candyman in Chicago.
Candyman's scary too, dude. Like, not like Freddie and Candyman, they just weird. Like, how do you come up with that? You know, like, how do you? Because Freddy Krueger is borderline a pedophile. And he's a pedophile, and he has knives on his fingers and everything, and you can't sleep.
Right.
Hey, I was gonna throw Candyman in there. I didn't know if that was too much throwback for Russ, but Russ a little younger than us.
Russ know everybody.
Too much.
All right, Russ. Let's go. Favorite Instagram comedian.
Favorite IG comedian, man. Oh man. Damn. Honestly, I don't even really look at IG comedians. My favorite comedians is just Dave Chappelle, Chris Tucker, and I think it's Chris Rock. Yeah, Chris Rock.
Okay.
And I like George Carlin, but I don't think people are that funny. I don't know.
I don't know if I'm gonna agree with that, Russ. It's some funny people. Hey, on Instagram, hey,
I gotta see.
Desi Banks probably has got it for me right now. Desi Banks probably got it, but Ha Davis, it's some other funny.
Oh yeah, you know what? Ha sends me. Ha does send me. His is more. I like his. I relate to his a lot more. Ha is funny, but I see Desi Banks on Twitter a lot. I'm on Twitter more than I am on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I don't really be knowing.
Gotcha. Toughest person you ever had to guard?
Probably like age 11 or 12. Kimba or Irvin Walker when I was super young. Yeah, probably those guys. Oh, and then out of respect, I was in the game, played Golden State. Chasing Curry around is a job in itself. So that was pretty dope. But yeah.
All right. We don't advise this, kids, but if stealing was legal, give us 3 things Russ Smith would steal.
3 things Russ Smith would steal. Oil, gold, and the air. Easy. That's easy. Next question.
Take yourself out of the equation. Who are the best hoopers that rap?
Oh man. Best hoopers that rap. You definitely have to go that rap and make music is totally different.
Rap.
That rap, I would have
to Give me 2.
For sure, definitely Dame, and then from what I've seen from like 2 Chainz and Hollow. No, I'm tripping. Dave East was.
I was gonna say I thought you would have said Dave East.
Pretty good. He was solid. Yeah, I think Dave East was solid. So yeah, it would have to be those. So it would have to be East and Dame.
What celebrity is the most annoying?
The most annoying, boy. Damn, there's a lot of annoying celebs out there, bro. Like, it's a lot of annoying people because they want that attention. So it's. Oh man, nah, you got me stuck. I really don't know. It's a long list. Man. Help me out. Who do you think?
Hell, I'm gonna start with the president. So that's where I'm going.
You know what? Yeah. It's not a bad. It's definitely either between Trump and Yeezy. I love Yeezy to death, but it's definitely one of those two. Those guys is always up to something. So
mine is number 45 because I don't say his name, and Cardi B. She drives me crazy.
Cardi B drives me insane too. God damn it. Yeah. Definitely does. Like, it's just nonstop nonsense. Like,
right.
For sure.
Take out the Yum Center. What's your favorite arena or the best arena that you've played in?
It's a good one too. Wow, as I've always said, the young was probably the best, but it would have to be. There's the Staples Center is obviously pretty nuts. The Garden's legendary. But when I was in China, the Beijing Ducks, like their arena is legit. Is fire. Then who else has a good arena?
Crowd too. Got a nice crowd.
Yeah, like when Marbury was playing, it was always packed out. The house was packed out. But when we played those guys, it wasn't really too packed. But you can just see it. You know, like it's almost levels. Like they know the Chinese know what they was doing over there when they made that arena. It's too fire. It's really nice.
For me, man, I'm man. It's different ones. Probably the nicest arena that I've played in. Man, that's tough.
Yeah, because it's so many.
As far as crowd noise, I'm gonna say Rupp Arena.
Right, you see, because the way it's different way. Yeah, like I like playing in when we played up in Rupp for sure, but then also Cincinnati, like playing up, it's like, I'm in the den. Yeah, like I like that. I got up for that, and that was cool. But there's other places too. Like when I was in Turkey, and the team played at like Fenerbahce or when we had a home game against Beşiktaş or something, it was ridiculous. Like our arena wasn't the nicest, but it was like,
oh no, we know.
You talk about apples and oranges when you talk about European crowds and American crowds. Apples and oranges.
And they violent.
Right.
That was crazy. But even in China, like, all right, so like the Beijing Ducks one was the nice one, but when we played and I was in Fujian, like, and our team was supposed to be like pretty good the year that I played. My first year, we had one of the best Asian big men. We missed the playoffs by like 4 games or 5 games, but our margin of loss was like 5. Like we didn't lose games by like that many points, but we won games by like 14, 13. Our arena was small, probably held like 8,000 people. 9,000 people was a little bowl, and you can smoke indoors. So the gym is smoked out, and it's a big smog on the court, and we out there hooping. Everybody's tripping. The fans yelling in Chinese. Ref calls something bad. The Chinese they gonna trip. They gonna come out the crowd. Like that was always fun.
Right. One thing people don't know about Russ Smith.
One thing people don't know about Russ Smith. Wow. Man, probably that I'm not as crazy as people might think. People might think I'm crazy and that I go on tirades. Like I'm a very peaceful person, man. Like I'm a very nonchalant person. I'm laid back. And I just enjoy it. I just make a big deal out of the little things. I enjoy the little things, and the little things make me happy. So that's probably the kick.
Right. Now this is a question that we call franchise sign and wave, and we gonna go young backup guard edition. So you got to franchise a guy that you would build your franchise around.
Yep.
You got to sign a guy that you would keep on your team, and you got to waive a guy that you just can't keep. I'm gonna give you 3 options. You got to keep the 2, and you got to prioritize. You got to franchise who you will build, sign who you're gonna keep on the team, waive who you can't keep. So you got Fred VanVleet, championship guard from the Raptors.
Yep.
You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, young up-and-coming guard from OKC, and you got Spencer Dinwiddie.
That's tough.
Nice guard from the Brooklyn Nets. You
That's
got franchise, you got to sign him. Yeah, it's supposed to be tough.
That's tough. That's super tough. I mean, That's so tough. But off the bat, and what I gotta do, I gotta franchise tag somebody.
You got a franchise.
I'm
Who you gonna
tagging.
build?
I'm tagging Dinwiddie. I'm tagging Dinwiddie. Why? Because at every level, he's been able to show and prove he's succeeded, and he's overcame injuries. He can shoot, pass, defend. He's a big guard. He's athletic. I think he should be a starter in the NBA, and he's just that good. Now I got to make a decision on who
Van Fleet or Gilgeous
and I
Alexander?
got to wave and do what to the other.
You got it. So you build your franchise around Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yep.
Now you got to decide who you're going to sign and keep on the team, and you got to waive one that you ain't got a roster spot for.
Now I'm sorry, Shy, you're the young buck. I gotta wave you. I gotta wave you. I gotta wave you. Now I'm gonna keep Van Vliet because Van Vliet gonna pick it up where Dinwiddie gonna leave off. Like he gonna play his role and he gonna take all his good shots. He got the championship blood. You know, he's been with a winning program. And he's a short guard. Like I like that. He's short, he's stocky, he can hold his own, he's a matchup problem. So I'm gonna go Dinwiddie at my one as my franchise guard. I know he's gonna compete. I know he's gonna hold it down. And I'm gonna go Van Vliet either 6-man or right beside him, knocking down threes and coming off pick and rolls.
Mo, what you going up with?
You said what?
So what you rolling with?
You know, for us being older, I like his first franchise pick. And just watching the young boy, I'll sign him.
Who's that?
Shot.
I just like
not bad move. Yeah.
You know, I like him. You know, so.
I'm with you. I'm franchising Spencer Dinwiddie. I think Spencer Dinwiddie. Man, Gilchrist Alexander's tough, man. Just watching him, he's tough, man. But I'm probably gonna franchise Dinwiddie, and then I had to come down to who I'm gonna keep between Shy and Van Fleet.
Man, Shy, like I like his game. He's very unorthodox. He can make plays at his size that a lot of smaller guards can. So he's versatile in that aspect. But I just think from an experience point and just picking the spots, I think Van Vliet picks his spots really good. He's phenomenal at that. Like, cause he's not overly athletic, he's not overly fast. And if I got my franchise guard taking all the risks, then I need a guy that can pick his spots. But Shy is just raw. He's cold-blooded though.
Yeah, and I'm with you, man. I think championship blood makes the difference for me. I think Shy Gilchrist is more talented, but I think Van Fleet just not being afraid of the moment, hitting big shots in the finals. I mean, going back to when they won their championship, he hit I don't know how many threes in the fourth quarter, 2 or 3 big shots. And so he's not scared of the moment. He's a good leader. He's tough, and he's proven. So I'm going to go with him just for that reason.
But I had this argument about Kyle Lowry the other day, and I was talking about how good he was. Like, if Kyle Lowry was I forgot what series it was. I think it was Philly, one of those teams this past series, or the Bucks. That's what we said. If Kyle Lowry was on the Bucks would potentially be playing for a championship right now. He's so smart. He controls the game, and he makes everybody else's job easier. And you need guys like that could pick these spots and make everybody else's job easy. And those guys don't come too often. And
Kyle Lowry is one of those players where, like, if I was playing against him, I would hate him. I would hate him, but I would want him on my team though, because he's tough. He's a leader. He's gonna do what it takes for the team. You know what I'm saying?
He could come off the bench, or he could be any position out there. Like, you just want to have him out there. That's a fact.
Right.
Russ, without putting yourself up there, because you know you're New Yorkers. Put on your basketball Mount Rushmore.
From New York.
No, period.
Just period.
You know.
Oh,
put on your basketball Mount Rushmore.
All right, so I'm going Michael Jordan, right? I'm on the right track, right? Like as far as
You're on the right track.
I'm going Michael Jordan for sure. Then I'm going LeBron James second immediately. And third, I'm going Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Fourth, fourth, Magic Johnson. And five.
But how many's on Mount Rushmore, Russ? Talking about 5.
It's 5 on the Mount Rushmore, right?
No, it's 4.
It's 4. Oh, all right, so that's it. I thought it was 5. That's why I started lineup.
Hey, I'm going to go back and do some research. Like, hold on, baby, I'm lost on the Mount Rushmore.
I gotta pick a fifth. It's hard to get a fifth. I already got 4. Yeah, so like I would go Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, and Magic. But Magic would be my one that if I had to put someone in there, unfortunately, he might be the first one out. So he's my fourth that's on the block.
Okay, since you threw it out there, if you was taking him off, who would you put in his place if you had to replace him?
Boy, man,
Kobe, Shaq, Bird. Bill Russell.
I'm a big fan of. I like body of work, man. Body of work is what matters to me, and then obviously the level and versatility. I love Bill Russell. Like I think Bill Russell is the definition of when you think championships, you think Bill Russell. What Bill Russell brought to the Celtics was defense and rebounds, but there was a lot of guys on his team that brought many of those things. Brought Cousy and Havlicek, all those guys.
Yeah, he played with a team of Hall of Famers.
A team of guys that got it done in their respect. It was one guy averaging 5 steals a game. It was crazy. So for that reason alone, I don't think it's fair to put Bill Russell up there. For that reason alone, he's my champion when I think championships. But I'm going to go, I don't know if I'm going to get bashed for it. Shaq is the most dominant player, but Shaq wasn't dominant for 40% of his career. I'm going to go Tim Duncan. I think Tim Duncan would be my fourth.
You can't get bashed for that. That's legit argument. That's legit argument.
I think he's great, man. Like, I think he's had from start to finish. Can't argue. The Spurs have never missed playoffs. He's had about 7, 8 final appearances, just as much as LeBron almost. MVPs, defensive teams, played with a few Hall of Famers. He's led all of his teams. He's on my Mount Rushmore, and I think if I were to add a fifth, that's my starting lineup. It would be Magic, Jordan, LeBron, Duncan, and Kareem. Kareem is one on every level, so we can't even.
I can't even be mad at that. And you know what? I had this conversation with some people that, and I kind of started a debate. Like, for a long time, people considered Kobe the best player in the league. He had these championships. I'm like, Tim Duncan got just as many. Why is Tim Duncan not considered the best player in the league?
Yeah.
The best power forward of all time. He's got 5 championships, defensive player of the years, MVPs. He may not be the scoring machine that, Kobe was, but he got it done, though.
The game is different. Like, he'll catch it. Like, he has an effect on that game that, that isn't flashy, but, you feel it in every possession.
And that's the thing.
You're going to get a high-level possession once he touches the ball.
But that's the thing, too, is because of, he wasn't doing he wasn't trying to do the big shoe commercials and, the jersey sales. It was, he would get his numbers, they win. People hated Spurs basketball. You can't, like Larry said, Kobe, he was just all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's the marketing, and that's what the NBA is. It gets to a point where you're not in love with the with the basketball player. Not this has nothing to do with Kobe, but you're not in love with the basketball player. You know, you're in love with the persona, what the perception is of him. You know, it's like like same scenario with let's say
Why?
yeah, Kawhi. You're in love with the person that doesn't talk, with the fact that he's a robot. He has huge hands, you know, and that's how he's marketed. He's marketed a little bit more than Tim Duncan because there's value in that. You know, there's value in being yourself, being quiet, and that's Kawhi. I mean, you take Donovan. Like, let's say Donovan scores 0 points the rest of his career. You're in love with the fact that he's gonna be Spider-Man in one of these games. You're gonna put that together, and then you're gonna realize that, oh man, he's an amazing basketball player, and he's like Spider-Man. Like it's the sell point in the NBA. Like, you're in love. Kobe's a snake. He's a black mamba. He's deadly. You're in love with that. Like that's what drives the engine behind a lot of these athletes. You're in love with LeBron James being the king and the all great, you know, and that's what makes sports great. Like I like Iverson because growing up from Brooklyn, Iverson's a thug to me. Like I like that. Like you from the hood, you got the braids, you got the tats. Like I ain't never seen that. Like I'm in love with that person because there's somebody on my block that looks like you, you know, and the way in the way people are portraying you, I can relate to that. So, and the same thing with Durant. Like I like Durant. I felt like everybody was always against him. Nobody likes Durant. I think Durant is amazing. I think he's one of the greatest scorers we'll ever see, and he doesn't get enough credit. Even him joining the Warriors, he doesn't get enough credit for being great on a great team. But that's just the world we live in. I kind of try to look at it a little differently.
Mo, who's on your Mount Rushmore?
Being from Chicago, of course, I got to go with Mike. But his body of work speaks for itself. So for me, I always say he the father, Kobe the brother, LeBron the son, and then I would go with Bill.
Bill Russell?
Yeah. Nice. No, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. Like, Bill is tough.
Man. First off, I'm going with Mike. Mind you, my picks are probably a little biased because I grew up in the Jordan, Bird, Magic era. You know, those were my big three. You know, whenever I thought about basketball, it always started with them three right there. And so I think LeBron has taken Bird off of that mantle. I love Bird. It was tough for me to take Bird off, but I got to give LeBron that mantle. And in no particular order. So I'm going Jordan, I'm going Magic, I'm going LeBron. And then with my fourth one, man, like you said, when you think about the body of work, I really feel like Shaq was the most dominant, but like you said, he didn't dominate his whole tenure.
Yeah.
And so that's the knock on him. And I got to go with Kareem, man. Kareem's got 6 finals. I don't think he's got 6 finals MVPs. I think he might got 3 or 4. But he's got 6 championships as well. He's got, you know, regular season MVPs. He's got accolades that throw him in the conversation for greatest player of all time. Yeah. So I don't understand why he's not in their conversation more so. But, you know, it is what it is. But those would be my 4. I would go Kareem, LeBron, Magic, Jordan, man. Magic just revolutionized the game. Just being that 6'9" point guard, being the greatest passer. I can go back and watch film of Magic and just like, man, like, you know, you've never seen that before. Even LeBron, as great as a passer he is, man, he ain't Magic on the break.
Nah.
Yeah, Magic.
LeBron is more so like I feel like the way his passing comes from his ability to score. And that's what makes him great. Like, yeah, he knows he can, you know, overpower his matchup or get a bucket on his matchup. But Magic wasn't always faster than the next man or wasn't more athletic than the next man. He would just see plays before it happened and play off of that instinct. And that was it was like watching watching a small guard play, like that just knows how to play the game. Like you just all right, when somebody step up, I'm gonna just get that out there. LeBron just makes reads that are just like, all right, the whole court knows I can score. So who's gonna make the first mistake?
Right.
Magic did it with finesse.
With finesse too, yeah.
Showtime, like,
throw some sauce on it. He's really out there. He's really out there tripping, like throwing it behind his head, throwing it through people's legs, like behind his back.
Right.
I don't take some crazy
things that get you subbed out.
Yeah, facts. Hell yeah.
Russ, man, appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day to come through and bless us on the podcast, man. It's a pleasure to have you on. Again, I love giving people their flowers when they deserve it, man. Being a heck of a ball player that you are. You're still young, man. You're still in your prime. You're a hell of a ball player. Wish you nothing but the best going over in China, man. And just keep grinding and keep pushing, man. Love watching you play. Still love watching you play. I'm definitely not going to try to check you and pick up now that I've retired. I still play for fun, but I don't play that hard no more. But, man, just appreciate everything about you, the work that you do in the community, man, and just being the person that you are. Don't change, man. Continue to be an All-American on and off the court, man. Really appreciate you taking time out of your day to come through the podcast, brother.
Thank you guys for having me too. My bad it even took this long to get it done. But yeah, we all tapped in now. So anytime, shoot me a text and we get on.
That's a bet. Mo, appreciate you stopping through and blessing us with your presence,
man.
brother.
All love. Want to try that bourbon out, Russ? Whatever.
Yeah, we definitely got to get samples of that so we can review it on here, man.
I can't wait.
I wish you would have had some. You know how everybody nowadays. You could have posted it up right there so everybody can see it. Put it on the podcast. But
yeah, for sure. We gonna get there. We definitely gonna get there.
But go ahead. But while we on it, go ahead and plug the people and let them know where they can find your products, your mugs. I love it. Your websites, anything that you want to plug. Go ahead and plug it before we get off here.
So on a bourbon tip, Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon.com. We own the domain as of right now. We have Glencairn/Snifters. We have teacups, mugs. And we're working on some more fun items. But that's the bourbon. And then on music, all platforms, obviously, Russdiculous is the artist name. And after that, and it's, Russ Smith, the basketball player. Twitter and IG, you can find me there, Russdiculous. And we're just constantly working. Be on the lookout for a lot of my foundation work, Russ Smith Foundation. We're currently in the process of putting down a playground. So that was a great project. And
nice. Al-Haji Muhammad, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram, Twitter. That's it right now, man.
What's your handles?
At Al-Haji Muhammad, ALHAJIMOHAMMED.
Make sure y'all go follow Al-Haji. Make sure you go follow Russ. Make sure you guys cop that bourbon and his Mr. and Mrs. Russdiculous cups and his coasters. And just support BOBs. And make sure you follow Al-Haji, the model, on Instagram. He's always promoting great material. And make sure you follow us. Our handle is on Instagram, the PPU Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Players Perspective Podcast. Been a great episode. Love hanging with you guys. See you guys soon, man. And it's a wrap for us. That's the Players Perspective.
Love.